Hello students, welcome back. Let's continue with our JavaScript tutorial. We saw as to quite an introduction to JavaScript, and then we saw what are the different ways through which I can include JavaScript statements into my HTML, make things better. Okay, and then we have taken a break. Let's continue from here to see what are the different other features of JavaScript are there which makes our lives easier for web development purposes. So as I mentioned, we are going to look into alerts, confirms, prompts, identifier, and the different other data types and how to make use of them in this particular session. So what is an alert? As you see over here, in the script we have defined an alert method or a function, confirm, prompt, so on and so forth. And as you can see, there are the different other outputs of this. So what we're going to quickly do is I'll switch to browser and demonstrate to you as to how these things actually work. Okay, so let me go to the browser. Okay, so this is js1.html. Well, what is that I did with js1.html is I modified that particular HTML file, adding a lot of content to it. As you can see, so within the JavaScript tag, I've added a alert function, I've added a prompt, another prompt, okay, with a default value over here, and then you have a confirm where which returns true or false, okay, and depending upon whether it is true or false, I'm printing whether you are okay or you're not okay. So let me run this program quickly and see as to what has happened, okay, or what its output going to be. Fine. So let me just refresh this. Refreshing a page should basically get the contents or the changed contents to your browser very quickly. Okay, my first method was alert. I'm not getting anything in my browser. Okay, I don't know what's the problem. Now, you might very well end up with this kind of problem where you think everything is right in your script, but still things are not working over here. Okay, so what do? You suspect any error? Possibly there could be an error, but how do you really find it out? Okay, so for that, what is that you need to do is go to this customize and control Google Chrome button over here. Click on it. You will see something called as more tools. When you click on developer tools, you will get a window where it's going to show you the different other elements of HTML which is present in your web page, as well as show you the styles, event listeners, DOM breakpoints and properties in case they are available. But what is it you all need to be more interested in is the error console over here. Okay, it says that it caught an syntax error which says missing colon after argument list. So where is this? Let me click on this, check. Oh, so it says that it is present in document.write, and I have something. Oh, you have a double quote over here, but it is not completed with closing bracket and a semicolon. So I have not completed the statement. Okay, because of which my script is not running. Okay, so likewise, if you feel that your script is not running, a good way to go and check with that is in the JavaScript error control. Now, this is not only a part of Chrome as a browser, it is very much part of the Opera. It could, the Opera, Internet Explorer, as well as Mozilla Firefox. So in all major browsers, you will definitely find a console related to JavaScript. Okay, so let me quickly go and correct it. So I've gone to the source of it, then I'm going to close this, and let's change to this. Okay, so let me rerun this again. Oh, it seems to have worked. So in my console, as you can see over here, there is absolutely no error, and I just got a first alert message. Now sometimes these alerts are actually used to see as to how far you can go with your JavaScript in order to look into the outputs. Okay, so this is an alert method. Fine, good enough. Let me proceed further. Now it's asking a question. What is your name? My name is Chandra. Okay, so my name is Chandra. So I'll click on OK. So what I have done is I'm capturing this into a variable and displaying it. displayed. Yes, it got displayed, as you can see. Now it is asking, how old are you? Well, that's a question which I don't intend to answer, but still I'll go ahead and answer it as such. So it's a random number for you people. I'm going to click OK. So it's going to describe age is 40. Now it's asking me, are you okay? What question is this? Now this is basically a confirming question. This confirming question results in either a true or false. Okay, as you can see in this particular js1.html, I'm taking the written value which is true or false. Based on whether it is true or false, I'm writing something into the HTML page. Okay, so if it is true, it's going to print you are okay. If I'm going to say cancel, then it's going to print are you not okay. So let me say cancel. Oh, it prints are you not okay. So if I rerun the same thing, okay, yes, of course alert method is going to come up. Then it's asking for the name. I give my name. It's going to ask for I become more younger now. Okay, then are you okay? Yes, I am okay. So looks like if you're 20 you're okay, if you're 40 you're not okay. I'm not sure whether it is right or wrong. Okay, but anyways the example holds good. So this is how the prompts, alerts and confirmation functions in JavaScript are primarily used. So let's quickly go back to our presentation. And so this is a slide which describes as to how alert and confirm is being used. And the next slide talks about prompt. Okay, so prompt basically is expecting some user interaction, some user input to be put in that particular field where it will be taken. So it's an input text field which will be filled with. Okay, but in case you don't fill anything but click on OK, there are ways through which you can tackle this. Okay, but what default value will be returned is undefined value, as you can see over here. So there will be an undefined value which will be returned back to the variable. So we make use of identifiers. They are the variables. Okay, now in my example also I made use of a variable named as age, name and c. Okay, so there were three variables which were used. And what are the different rules to come up with a variable is it should contain only between capital A to capital Z or lower a. I mean, it's basically the general rules which is followed by any language. And first character cannot be a digit, yes, and it is case sensitive. So in case you have cases messed up, so some place where you start with a capital M, probably in some other place you will start using it as a lowercase m, things could differ. Okay, so you will have to have a clear look of what kind of variables you are using and put up a standard documentation which will describe as to what would be the names of the variables and how would you go about describing the name of the variables. It will not only stand with the variables, even the function name also should follow the same standards. Okay, and in order to put in an identifier, you cannot make use of reserved words or keywords. So let us look into the variable declaration part. Now here is a small example. As you can see, within the script tag we have x is equal to 3, where I do not have a var keyword which is preceding x. Okay, so this is as good as window dot x, so it is part of the whole document, okay, or the window object. So then I have var y is equal to 4, which is equivalent to the window dot y is equal to 4. So basically this would kind of act as a little global compared to the ones which is defined within these braces, where x is equal to 0, where when I say x is equal to 0, it's not going to create a new identifier, but it's going to refer back to the previous one which was described, x is equal to 3. But when you say var y is equal to 1, this will make it a local variable over here. So in case I have this alert statement printed, when I say x is equal to x, here you will get a 0, but y you will have a rewritten value, not a rewritten value, sorry, but it will be the global value because you have it outside this particular scope of parenthesis where it is going to print 4. But in case you have an alert of x and y over here, it would go about printing 0 and 1 within this particular block. But when you come out of that particular block, then y value will take the global variable. So all bindings of these identifiers will be automatic and it will be dynamically binded with the values. So what are the different data types you have? Here also we have primitive data types in the form of numbers, which will form integers and floating point numbers. Boolean, true or false. We saw this particular type sometime back when we used the confirm function. Then you have string, which is represented by a sequence of alphanumeric numbers. You also have composite data types where you can combine multiple data types, form one particular data type out of it, which could be called as either composite or complex data type. So you have an object which is a named collection of data, or you have array where you have a sequence of values. Oh, so it's basically a predefined object. So you also have special data types in the form of null and undefined. So null basically represents nothing, but undefined is a value which says it is an initialized variable. Okay, you have not initialized it. It does not mean that it is null. When it comes to strings, it's a same definition which all the other languages kind of define. So it's a sequence of alphanumeric characters, spaces, and special characters, and each character is represented by 16 bits. Since it is 16 bits Unicode, you can represent almost every other possible language in this particular world. Okay, so you can make use of either a single quote or a double quote in order to represent a string. Then you have escape characters in the form of /n or /t for tab, or /quote in case you want to print a quote. So all those things are possible in the strings. Okay, then we have a special operator in the name of type of operator. So in case you want to find out, okay, the type of the operand which you are using, whether it is representing a number or a string or a boolean or an object or a function, so you will require this particular type of operator, because there are cases, as you might have seen, we defined a variable by only using the keyword var, but we did not define using either a int or a float representing that is a that particular variable will represent only integer or a string or a floating point. Okay, so sometimes there might be a case where you would want to really find out as to what that particular operand is representing, whether whatever you have got as a return value from the server, whether it is an integer or a number. So you can make use of this type of operator. So what we will do is we will go back to a demo calling this particular js underscore type of .html file and see as to how it works. So basically what I have in that is I've defined two variables over here, hello and y. Okay, hello being a string and y some value. Then it is going to let me know what is the type of x or y or z which is present. Okay, so let's go back to our code. So I have JS type of. Okay, so as you can see, let me remove this as well as this. Those are not really required. Then I have hello JavaScript being written. Then I have two variables defined over here. I'm basically printing the type of x, y, and z. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll save this, and this is the file. I'll open it with the Chrome. Okay, so it's showing an alert that variable x value is string. Okay, good. Then it says variable y value is undefined. Yes, I have declared y, but I have not defined y. Okay, I had declared x, but I defined it as hello. I had declared y, but I had not defined it. Okay, I'll say okay, and then it says even x value is undefined. Okay, so even that is also not defined. So is there any possibilities of me going and changing this? Yes, there should be possible. I'll say y is equal to 10 comma, then z is equal to 10.5. Okay, let us see as to what value changes I would get over here. I'm sorry, this is not the one. So let me refresh this. So in the alert window, I get X is the string, good. I say Y is a number, good. I say X is again a number. So basically number represents both integer as well as float. So that was about the type of. So let's take a quick break over here. So when we come back, we are going to look into arrays, objects, and different operators which are used in JavaScript. Okay, thank you.